Welcome back. You're still watching Morning Live. Now, Othello by William Shakespeare will premiere at the Baxter Theatre on the 6th of April and run until the 4th of May. The play features a sterling cast led by Atandwa Kani in the title of Othello, Albert Pretorius, Carla Smith and Faniswa Yisa, as well as Carlo, to mention a few. The production will be performed in English, isiXhosa and Afrikaans, focusing on Othello's inner life and adding an African perspective to the storyline. To share more on the play, we're joined virtually by award-winning producer and director Lara Foot. Lara, a very good morning to you. A warm welcome to Morning Live. I mean, speak to us about, briefly share your vision for Othello, because we know it as the Shakespeare classic, but you have your own vision of how you want it to translate on stage.
Good morning. Thank you for having me on your program. Yes, Othello, I have adapted and set it in Southwest Africa during the German colonization of Southwest Africa and the genocide of the Herero and the Nam people. And so this is quite different, obviously, to the original text. And I'm looking at the effects of colonization on the people of Southwest Africa. And by setting it there, giving Othello a sense of trauma, of displacement, of not belonging to neither the Germans or to the continent, and in this way looking at his sense of lack of self-worth, of vulnerability, and finding that way into his, into his madness. Mm-hmm. Because of this trauma. And so also, in a sense, decolonizing the script through, I've used some of the philosophies of Frans Fanon, and we've also infiltrated the script with isiXhosa and Afrikaans. Not saying that we're not also sticking to the blank verse of Shakespeare, which of course is so beautiful, and primarily sticking to the original text, but giving it this different context.
Mm-hmm. And I wanted to speak about your creative team. I mean, you've got, Gerard Marx on one of your creative team members. I mean, on music, you've got Carl Shepard. Speak to us about working with such, an award-winning team to make sure that what you have on stage, what you had envisioned, translates, just as perfectly on stage.
Well, the landscape is very important, and Gerard Marx, who's a renowned fine artist in South Africa, is able to reflect that landscape beautifully through metaphor. And, we have a sense of the devastation of the landscape. And then Carl Shepard is so brilliant at bringing the narrative together and the nuances of the emotion together in his music. I originally did the play in Germany, and was produced by the Düsseldorf Schauspielhaus. And thanks to that, there was budget to get people like Gerard and Kyle and to really invest in the production values of the play.
And speak to us about how it changes the fact that it's being performed in English, isiXhosa and Afrikaans, how it changes everything about Othello, but still sticks to what we know as Othello as.
Well, I mean, there's a sense of South Africa and Africa, the different languages. The translations into isiXhosa are mostly the Fanon philosophies. And we've worked on the translations to give them the same sense of form and style as the Shakespeare. So the translations have been very, very carefully done to fit in with the rest of the form of the play.
Now, as you head for opening night on the 6th of April, what are you working towards? And speak to us about your cast, specifically why Atandwa was the best person for the lead Othello.
And Othello is a very, very difficult part to play. This noble man that gets forced into a rage and forced to become some kind of or certainly portrayed in the past as some kind of a crazy murderer. But he has to deal with a blank verse, heightened language, a range of emotions, and we have to believe him. He has to be credible through art. which is difficult because he has to jump between various very strong passions and emotions. And Atandwa is just an extraordinary actor. I mean, we've brought him back from New York, convinced him to come home and play the role, and he was very delighted to do that. And he just has the sensibility and such a wonderful relationship with text, as well as a physical actor. And so he's a striking Othello. He's really incredible. I'm amazed. I knew it was going to be good, but he's really very, very powerful. So we'll be working this week to get the production together, the sound, the music, all the visuals, very visual production. And him and Albert Pretorius, who's playing the evil Iago, have got an amazing rapport. They're wonderful foils to one another. And so we're going to be just honing those performances, getting, Desdemona. Carla Smith is also a very, very beautiful young actress. Faniswa Yisa is playing Emilia, and I mean, she's just burning the floor. She's really extraordinary in that role. So it's about honing now and making it beautiful and delicate.
All right, Lara Foot, thank you so much for talking to us. The South African premiere of Othello by Shakespeare is on from the 6th of April and will run until the 4th of May at the Baxter. And we just had a conversation with acclaimed producer and director Lara Foot.